about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Odafe Oweh. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Jackson. Flush to his right. Finding room at the 30, and he'll be out right at the 35. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this one is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now a throw here to his running back. And some space here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps? Or?
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Now the Iowa State product, it's Kene Nwangu.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles. 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
Flushed out right. Got some room at the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Now Jackson on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
This is Edwards. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing is Jackson. Touchdown. That's caught. Sammy Watkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. It's Jackson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll see he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
Jackson here is going to look to throw, escaping the pressure right. It's complete. And he'll wind up short of the goal line, so they will not be able to get this back within a score as this remains a 10-point differential. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
A fairly short kick from the 14.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Eluding the pressure right.
Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
Jackson now.
That's dropped underneath to Nwangu.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
They'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 23. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Second and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. It's a first down and more for Dobbins.
And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Play action. Now Jackson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Flush to his right. First down and more for Jackson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
Second and 12. Another run here with Dobbins.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here's Jackson on third and long. Going deep here for Watkins.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Well, that was a show of support to even allow him to attempt to make that kick. And you know if he did, that would tie the NFL record. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, but a little bit short. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. First and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Brings up second and 4 at the 41-yard line.
Jackson completes it to Hardman. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Here's Jackson to throw. And this is incomplete.
And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms. But I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down, a 3-and-out. Something that lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And a little spin cycle, room to run now. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal on the 4-yard line.
Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kene Nwangu, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have got it back to a one-score game. No, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
Jackson's going to try the sneak, and I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th. Jackson flushed out right. He tried to keep it himself, but can't stretch his way in. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
A gain of 21 yards.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Now a handoff, Edwards, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
74 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's a first down and more for Dobbins.
And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result right now.
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Odafe Oweh, his 2nd sack of the night. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw here taken in by Gesicki.
And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson.
Drops this off with Nwangu.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
They'll get this to Nwangu.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Jackson to throw.
That's caught. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
And credit the tackle to Brandon Jones.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
And it's 3rd down.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Justin Houston in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching? And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Brandon Stephens.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate.